Our focus remains on Joshimath. Over the past few days, the situation has turned grim. The existing cracks on the roads and houses have widened further. The worst is in Marwari area, where an aquifer burst 3 days ago and water is now constantly coming down from it. Remember, the Prime Minister's office will also be holding a high-level meeting on Joshimath. The Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister, Dr. P.K. Mishra, will be holding the high-level review meeting with the Cabinet Secretary and the senior officials of the Government of India and the members of the National Disaster Management Authority at the PMO. The meeting is scheduled to begin shortly. The district officials of Joshimath will also remain present through video conferencing on the issue, while senior officers of Uttarakhand are also expected to attend this review meeting virtually. The focus is on the cracks that have appeared on the walls.
जोशीमठ शहर हमारा बहुत ही पौराणिक शहर है और धार्मिक रूप से, आध्यात्मिक रूप से और मैं कहूँ कि सीमांत क्षेत्र के कारण भी एक बहुत बड़ा केंद्र है। और अभी चूंकि तात्कालिक स्थिति में ये आपदा आई है, तो इस आपदा में हमारा सबसे पहला काम तो यह है कि सभी को हम कैसे सुरक्षित कर पाएँ, जान माल की सुरक्षा हो। और जो नुकसान हुआ है, क्योंकि उसके लिए हमारे भूवैज्ञानिक बहुत सारी संस्थाओं के इस पर अपना अध्ययन कर रहे हैं और अध्ययन करने के बाद ही पता लगेगा कि आखिर किन कारणों से ये हो रहा है। लेकिन अभी हमारी प्रायोरिटी है कि जिन घरों पर ये खतरा आया हुआ है, जहाँ भी दरारें पड़ी हुई हैं, उन सभी को सुरक्षित स्थानों पर निकालें, उनको सुरक्षित करें। बहुत ठंड का मौसम है और बर्फबारी होने की भी संभावना है, इसलिए सभी को सुरक्षित स्थान मिले, ठंड से बचाव हो, भोजन मिले, उन सब की व्यवस्था में हम लोग लगे। बाकी दीर्घकालिक योजना पर भी काम कर रहे हैं कि अगर यहाँ से सभी को पुनर्वास करना पड़ेगा, जिन जिन घरों में नुकसान हो रहा है, जो इसकी जद में आए हुए हैं, तो उस दिशा में भी हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं।
Panic, fear and anxiety grips the residents of Joshimath as land subsidence continues, and it seems Joshimath is sinking. Now the houses over here have developed huge cracks, and any moment these houses can collapse. Right now we are reporting from Ravigram area of Joshimath, and look at these scenes behind me. These are very scary scenes over here, that how exactly the upper part of this house is being completely dislocated from the lower area, and this has happened within a span of few days. Now people are forced to live in such dangerous area, given the fact they say that they do not have any other option to go over there. Now right now I am in a house which is completely tilting towards one side, and while I'm standing over here I can feel that how it's tilting towards one side, and I'll show you with these visuals that how exactly the situation is over here for the people of Joshimath. Now if I close this particular door over here, you can see a gap of few inches over here. This is because you see that this particular wooden block is tilting towards one side because there are huge cracks that have developed in this particular house. Now if we'll go inside and we'll see that what exactly is the situation, you can see on the ground that how these huge cracks have been developed over here, and the people over here who are living, they're saying that they have again and again they made sure this house goes for construction, under construction. They have again and again put cement over this, but on regular basis these cracks are coming up. Joshimath, it's sinking. The land subsidence continues in the holy town of Joshimath, and in fact even the temples are developing cracks, and people over here are very scared. Right now we are reporting from Shankaracharya Math Madhav Ashram near Narsingh Mandir, and we have the priest over here to explain to us, and we'll show our viewers that how exactly in fact in the temples also the cracks have been developed. Sir, हमसे बात करने के लिए शुक्रिया। आपका नाम?
मेरा नाम श्री वशिष्ठ ब्रह्मचारी है। मैं शंकराचार्य मठ का प्रबंधक हूँ। तो यहाँ पर पिछले कई दिनों से 12-13 महीने से लगभग ये दरारों का सिलसिला जारी था।
हम थोड़ा चाहेंगे कि आप बोलते रहे, हमें दिखाएं क्या क्या दरारें हैं।
ये पिछले कुछ दिनों से ये जो दरारें हैं ये थोड़ा थोड़ा बढ़ रही हैं। 12-13 महीने से ये जो दरारें थी ये पहले हल्की मात्रा में थी। अब आप ये देख रहे हैं, ये मंदिर हैं, इन मंदिरों में ये आप छत में आप देख रहे हैं, छत ने और दीवार को छोड़ दिया है। ये पिलर छूट गए हैं।
पिलर तो अलग ही लग रहे हैं।
हाँ, पिलर बिल्कुल अलग लग रहे हैं। ये मंदिर की पिछली साइड में आप देखें देखेंगे यहाँ 4-4 इंच 5-5 इंच का गैप आ रहा है।
जरा दिखाइए अगर हम दिखा पाएंगे तो। So there you see, this is the Shankaracharya Mutt over here, and in fact, huge cracks have developed over here. In fact, the pillars are also coming out. We'll just move throughout this particular ashram and show you that how scary the situation is. And you can see over here. So there you see the floor over here, that how the cracks have developed, and there's a huge space between the tiles over here, and in fact many of the pillars are also moving away from the main wall, as you can see over here in this particular wall. And we'll go towards the shivling over here, and we'll see in this particular area that where exactly the cracks are. So the situation is very scary. In fact, this is a very holy mutt in the town of Joshimath Madhav Ashram. Those who are familiar with Uttarakhand and Joshimath, they must be knowing about the nursing temple, the ancient nursing temple, and this particular mutt is just adjacent to that nursing temple.
All right, in an exclusive interview to Times Now, the SC panel head in Joshimath case, Ravi Chopra, has details as to why the hill town is on shaky ground. He says there is unwillingness to accept the recommendations that have already been listed. The environmentalist also saying how unplanned expansion over congestion is what led to the gradual sinking of the landforms.
There were several aspects of road construction that were being done, that were being looked into.
Okay.
Whether it was from the issue of road design to slope stability to muck disposal, conservation of forests and wildlife, conservation of springs, and the well-being of social and cultural well-being of the people in that area. Mm-hmm. This was the range of issues that we had been asked to look at. And in all of them, we found that the effort of the Char Dham Pariyojana was lacking. Mm-hmm. That there was a tremendous focus on building as you build anywhere in the country.
Led to the situation being like this, so many cracks on the roads as well as the houses. Mohit Bhatt is joining us for a ground report from Joshimath. But before that, want to introduce legal editor Harish Nair to bring a legal perspective. Harish, now signs over the last several decades have been ignored. Now it has come to a point of no return. The residents are waiting for intervention from the government for rehabilitation and also ensuring that they can settle back in this town. But this is a petition that has been brought up in the Supreme Court as well as the High Court as well, top court of the country, with the residents approaching the court for a better management and rehabilitation. What's expected in the top court?
Yes, that's right. Now, when panic has stricken the residents of Joshimath after cracks have been discovered in more than 500 houses and also in hospitals and hotels. Now, 2 petitions have been filed, one in the Supreme Court, one in the High Court. The petition in the Supreme Court has been filed by the seer of the Jyotishpeeth of there. So it's both petitions emphasis on immediate payment of compensation and also rehabilitation of the affected people, and more than that, it says that it should be declared as a national disaster, and so that the NDMA can immediately intervene in this matter, and also what Mr. Ravi Chopra had, who had headed the Supreme Court panel on this issue, said cannot be brushed under the carpet, as he is not only an eminent environmentalist but a senior researcher, but also happens to be the head of the high power committee appointed by the Supreme Court in the case of Char Dham Road construction. He says his committee had flagged several issues taking into consideration the ecological fragility and environmental degradation, but there has been an unwillingness to accept the recommendations. He says that the BRO and the Defense Ministry has been building as if they were building anywhere in the approach, and also says that kind of careful work that needed to be done was not being done. He also says that the Border Roads Organization did not conduct detailed and careful geological, geophysical, technical analysis of the rocks before beginning work on the project. So Mr. Chopra's statement that slope should not have been disturbed like this is as the Joshimath stands on a landslide and glacial debris is also very, very important. So why this petition before the Supreme Court is important is because it was the Supreme Court which had cleared the decks for the expansion of four highways which was leading to the China border. So several environmentalists are blaming that order of the Supreme Court and
being who
also
ignored these various red flags, Harish, and that's going to come up in court. But want to get a ground report as well. Mohit Bhatt is joining us live from Joshimath. Mohit, you've been speaking to a lot of residents who have been saying that now suddenly the cracks have appeared. But this is a phenomenon that has gone on for far too long, with a lot of recommendations that were made in the Mishra Committee being ignored. Take us through what the situation is like and the extent of the problem that you're seeing on ground.
Well, Pratibha, this problem in Joshimath did not happen overnight. It was a disaster in making. Rapid urbanization, making of tunnels on the very volatile belt of Joshimath had led to this crisis. Now look at these visuals over here. I'll ask my camera person, and every viewer should see all these visuals. These women are sitting at Tehsil because their house have developed cracks. They do not have anywhere to go. They are being shifted to a temporary rehabilitation center, which are schools, which are gurudwaras, which are auditorium. And you imagine in -2-degree temperature, if women and their children will have to go over there, what exactly would be the impact on them? We also have Mr. Kamal Ratudi with us, who is the secretary of Joshimath Bachao Sangharsh Samiti. Now, this Sangharsh Samiti has been fighting against the rapid urbanization and the making of tunnels for the power project for a long time. We'll talk to him about the details of this particular issue, because he is somebody who knows the problems that the Joshimath is facing, not from now, but from past many years. Kamal ji, हमसे बात करने के लिए शुक्रिया। सबसे पहले आपसे जानना चाहेंगे कि आखिरकार ये क्रैक्स एकदम से डेवलप नहीं हुए, काफी समय से आ रहे थे, और इसके पीछे की आप लोगों की वजह क्या है? जो आपका इतना लंबा संघर्ष चला है, वो किसके खिलाफ था, और अब कैसे देखते हैं आप आगे?
देखिए, 70 के दशक में जब जोशीमठ में भूदसाव शुरू हुआ, तो 76 में मेरी कमेटी बनी, जो कमिश्नर गढ़वाल थे, और एक बहुत बड़ी पावरफुल कमेटी बनी, और उस कमेटी ने रिकमेंड किया, सिफारिशें की और सुझाव दिए कि जोशीमठ चूंकि मुरेन पे बसा हुआ है, जो ग्लेशियर के साथ जो मिट्टी आती है उस ढलान पर बसा हुआ है, तो यहाँ पर किसी तरह का भारी निर्माण, यहाँ पर विस्फोटकों का उपयोग न हो, यहाँ पर बड़ी ऊंची इमारतें।
76 की पैनल रिपोर्ट पे सब है।
यस जी। उसके बाद जब 2004 में यहाँ पर एनटीपीसी की परियोजना आई, तो हमारे पास उदाहरण था, सामने चाई गांव दिख रहा है आपको, वहाँ पर जयप्रकाश कंपनी ने अपना पावर हाउस उस गांव के नीचे बनाया, और जब पावर हाउस बना तो पूरा गांव कोलैप्स कर गया। उसका हमारे पास एग्जाम्पल था, और उस आधार पर जब 2004 में यहाँ पर एनटीपीसी आई, 2005 में एनटीपीसी का यहाँ पर उद्घाटन होना था। नारायण दत्त तिवारी जी मुख्यमंत्री हुआ करते थे, यहाँ के लोगों ने बहुत जबरदस्त विरोध किया और मजबूर होकर उनको उद्घाटन देहरादून में करना पड़ा। 2009 और 10 में जब इनका टनल बोरिंग मशीन एनटीपीसी का सुरंग के अंदर फंस गया, जो सीधे जोशीमठ की तलहटी से जा रहा है, तो तब लोगों ने बहुत बड़ा प्रोटेस्ट किया। उन्होंने उस समय हमारे साथ समझौता किया कि हम आपके घर मकानों का बीमा करेंगे, और तो ये
उसी मशीन को निकालने के लिए आप लोग कह रहे हैं कि ब्लास्ट बार बार करते रहे थे,
और उसी मशीन को निकालने के लिए उसके मुहाने तक पहुंचने के लिए इन्होंने कई बाईपास टनल बनाए, जिसका कि ये जिक्र नहीं करना है।
कमल जी, अब आपकी क्या क्या मांग है?
हमारी मांग ये है कि जो एनटीपीसी का काम है वो पूरी तरीके से स्थायी तरीके से बंद हो, वाइंड अप करें एनटीपीसी और वापस जाए। जो बाईपास बन रहा है जोशीमठ के बिल्कुल जड़ पे, वो बाईपास का काम तत्काल बंद हो। यहाँ के लोगों के पुनर्वास, विस्थापन और मुआवजे की तत्काल सरकार व्यवस्था करे। प्रधानमंत्री इस पूरी आपदा को राष्ट्रीय आपदा घोषित करते हुए और उसी तर्ज पर यहाँ के लोगों का विस्थापन, पुनर्वास करे। और जो लोग अभी करीब 1000 घरों में यहाँ दरारें हैं 5,500 के आसपास
रिहेबिलिटेशन कंपनसेशन
सबका रिहेबिलिटेशन
All right.
कंपनसेशन
So, Mohit, key demands of the residents there being, of course, rehabilitation and also compensation. Also want to bring in Mr. Krishan Mitroo here. You know, like we just mentioned, it's not overnight that Joshimath started sinking. There were several signs, there were several recommendations that had been ignored completely. And it's not just, you know, of course, the foundation is very vulnerable. You're right. But apart from that, there are a lot of external reasons also that are responsible for Joshimath being in the situation that it is and the residents now being left in the lurch.
Good morning and thank you very much for inviting me. On the start of the whole thing, I would say, number one, that this is a man-made disaster. Full stop.
Okay.
Now, how has that come to be a man-made disaster? Very well spoken by my previous guests. The geological study of the land has been done plenty in details, and it has come out that this land is not fit for any development like what is going on, particularly that of the NTPC that is being spoken about, and repeated disasters that have been happening in Joshimath area, in Uttarakhand area, in many places. Land sinking, landslides, and the glaciers, slides, etc. All those things have been happening. Just now I heard a Panditji from a nursing temple,
Yes.
Madhav Ashram. He is saying that the cracks have appeared in the last about 12 to 13 months, since the last about 12 to 13 months. Now, has the bureaucracy, has the district administration or the state administration been ignorant about these cracks developing? If they knew about it, firstly, why have they not known it? And if they knew about it, what action has been taken?
Okay.
There is no, I have